Good evening, everyone. Thanks you for waiting us for the technical issue, and thanks you for dialing in for tonight IPO webinar. Here we have Fibromat Malaysia Berhad, will be listed on ACE market on 8th of May. Fibromat Malaysia Berhad are principally involved in the provision of geotechnical solution for erosion control, second, ground improvement, and third, sediment control, and fourth, filtration and containment leading. The company geotechnical solution including design, manufacturing, and installation of geotechnical solution using geosynthetics, erosion control, and a business product. Later on, our Fibromat management team will discuss it in detail. Here we're going to honor the company managing the company executive director, Wang Ko-Eng. How Wallace?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, okay. And let's to view the corporate video before I run through the presentation. Thank you.
The world is shifting. Rising seas, eroding land, and fierce storms threaten our future. But there is hope. We are Fibromat Berhad, and we stand at the front lines of the fight to restore balance. Our mission is clear: to protect the land, preserve the planet, and pave the way for a sustainable future. Through cutting-edge erosion control solutions, we prevent soil erosion and safeguard vital ecosystems. From advanced green infrastructure to sustainable ground improvement systems, every innovation we create is designed to heal the earth, one project at a time. In 1999, we started as a small company with a big vision, a single product, a single dream: to protect our land and environment for generations to come. Today, that vision has flourished. Over 2 decades of dedication and innovation have transformed us from humble beginnings into a comprehensive one-stop solution provider for erosion control. With a portfolio of over 30 high-quality products and solutions, we are proud to offer comprehensive solutions for erosion control and environmental sustainability. Since inception, we have been able to expand our presence, exporting our products to more than 15 countries worldwide. Our operations are built on 3 major pillars: technical and design, manufacturing and warehouse, installation. At the heart of our operations lies a team of professionals who analyze challenges and design innovative, green solutions to combat erosion and protect our ecosystems. Every design reflects our commitment to sustainability. At Fibromat Berhad, we take pride in producing high-quality products using in-house machinery, ensuring precision and reliability. Among our key products are erosion control blankets, made from coconut fiber and locally sourced paddy straw. We turn agricultural waste into a powerful erosion control solution. Combined with hydro seeding, it promotes vegetation on exposed slopes, transforming waste into sustainability. Prefabricated vertical drains, crafted from recycled materials. This solution strengthens soft ground before major construction. Trusted for its reliability, cost efficiency, and time-saving benefits, it remains as the preferred solution in the industry. Our experienced team of construction professionals bring designs to life. From planning to execution, we ensure every project is carried out with precision, care, and the highest quality standards. At Fibromat Berhad, excellence isn't just our goal, it's our standard. Over the years, our unwavering commitment to quality, sustainability and innovation has been recognized through numerous certifications and prestigious awards. These certifications and accolades aren't just milestones. They are a testament to our relentless pursuit of excellence and our promise to deliver the very best. At Fibromat Berhad, success means more than profits. It is about making a difference. During COVID-19, we stood with our community, donating masks to protect those in need. We empower future generations by sponsoring the U17 football team, fostering talent and resilience. In disaster, we deliver aid and support recovery. Corporate social responsibility is not just a program, it is who we are, making impact where it matters. Our mission goes beyond business. It is about creating a lasting impact. We are empowering communities, preserving ecosystems, and driving sustainable growth. Because the future deserves nothing less. Fibromat Berhad, empowering sustainable growth.
All right, thanks for the corporate video. Okay, just now, okay, we reintroduce for the management team again.
Thank you much for Rakuten. In order for us to hold this event for today, okay, today with us we have Mr. Waller Eun. He's the ED of the company. Miss Nadia, she is the CFO of the company, and we have shared with us. Mr. Danny Ng, he's in the process of directing. Nadia, please send him the email and call him directly to get it done. I will quickly run through the presentation for the first 15 minutes. Subsequently, we will open the floor for Q&A. Will be jointly answered by the MD, Mr. Danny Ng, ED, Mr. Waller Eun, and CFO, Puan Nadia. As you watch for the video just now, Fibromat is a geotechnical solution specialist. This is the company. This specialist engineering company, one and the only one listed on the stock exchange. It will be on the front end of construction. When you clear the land, you need all these erosion control people coming in to avoid the erosion before you can build a building on the ground. Okay, let's make a move. Okay, for this IPO, the scheme is very simple, very straightforward. Upon the listing on the stock exchange, about 250 million of share, out of it, the total number of public offering for the outside investor to buy the share, it will be about 13%, 32.3 million share. It will split like people like you and me can go for IPO application, 5%, 12.4 million share, pin form for the start, and private placement to the meaty investor, 5.5. On top of that, the major shareholder, Mr. Danny Ng, he also offered 10% of his share in order to sell to the 7% to meaty investor, 3% to the normal investor through the private placement. So all in on the listing day, about 23% of new share will be in the market. Okay, IPO price 55 cents, multiple by about 250 million share. Upon listing, the indicative market cap value is about 136 million. So the prospectus has been launched already on with that. After that, now will be the application. Application will be closed on the 25th of April. On the 30th will be the balloting. Subsequently, should you be successful get the share, your CDS account will show by the 6th of May. 8th of May is a listing day of this IPO. This company will be simple, very straightforward. Only one subsidiary, MTS Fibromat, fully owned by the listed company, Fibromat and Berhad. So all the profit and revenue earned by the company will be fully consolidated with no minority interest. Just now in this video already showed to you, the job will design the tree. First, when they come to a certain job, should it be their customer, let's say from the contractor, the project owner like SPCTL, as Parsing, property developer, JKR, state government. First, they will involve in design and installation. What is the geotechnical solution appropriate? Let's say in Patukawan, the land below the water, they need to suck out the water, stabilize the land before you put the building above the land. When the building is built near to the slope, let's say Cameron Highland, Genting Highland, you need to protect the slope. If the building is built along the riverbank, you worry about sediment will wash away the riverbank, the thing collapse. Different solution they're able to design. At the same time, they're able to manufacture the in-house product in order to be utilized as part of the solution. You are not able to produce all the product. Therefore, they also buy the synthetic product and erosion control product from external supplier in order to combine to provide a full fledged of the services to the end customer. At this moment, the business will divide in three segments. Design and installation is the most profitable, take out around 40 to 50% of revenue for the past 4 financial year. Financial year end is 31st December of every year. Then the second largest, about 30 to 40%, will be trading of geosynthetic or erosion control product, whereas manufacturing take a slightly back seat, about 15 to 20%. This is the revenue breakdown. You can take it like 40 or 40, 40, 20 or 50, 30, 20. The majority of the business is derived from Malaysia, with some products being exported overseas like Singapore, Korea, and other countries. At this moment, with the IPO number of share about 13%, the multiple by 55 cents, the total value going to raise about 17.8 million. The majority of the bulk is involved in the productive, about purchase machinery, about 40%, working capital, about 40%. Save for the 20% is for the listing expenses, is channel for the productive in order to create additional revenue and to back up to secure more order from their end customer. So at this moment, the three key strategy, number one, later on you can raise a lot of question. They want to buy multiple type of the different machine in order to install in a Rasa factory. So with this machinery, they're able to increase the capacity to cater for bigger business. At this moment, they also have this in-house PBD team. At this moment, whenever they secure the job, example, let's say you go to this Kota Raya, Melaka, you go to the Tanjung Pinang in Penang, those land is submerged below the seawater. You need to take up and suck out the water, put in the earth and stabilize it. And this one we call PVD technology. At this moment, whenever they secure the job, they will need to get the third-party subcontractor to do the installation. Their intention is first, they're going to buy 5 units of hydraulic excavator. They're going to employ another 10 technical staff to set out their own in-house technical team in order of they can produce the PVD, they also can do the installation. At this moment, the business is not restricted in Malaysia, despite being in the market for the 26th year. They already expand to East Malaysia in 2017, especially the last one number job in Sabah. Sabah in the early day got Pembonia Highway Sabah Phase 1A. Now it's called the Pembonia Sabah Phase 1B. Okay, the key management team, today we have the MD, Mr. Danny Ng, ED, Mr. Waller Ng, then we have Encik Muhammad Taming. After that, we have all the key senior management team with us today. Okay, the structure is very simple and very straightforward for organizing structure. Revenue-wise, despite went through quite a tough time during the pandemic, open, close, open, slightly static, set 45, 47 million. Post-pandemic, grow to 68 and 75 million. More importantly is a bottom line. The profit grew from 5.75 million, slightly dropped in 2022, recover back 8.5 million and almost 10 million in the year of 2024. Due to the specialist engineering, the bottom line, profit after tax margin is around 12% to 13%. Save for the year of 2022, the pandemic is a time that most of the construction company or the engineering service company either running a loss or break even. But it's good that this company is still able to achieve the profit despite slightly lower after tax margin during the tough time. So with this, the company does not adopt any dividend policy. But having said that, this company was listed on the stock exchange since May 2019 as a lead market. 6 years today, about May 2025, the company could transfer the LEAP to the ACE. In the past record, during the LEAP market day, they did pay out the dividend of 5 million, 3 million, 2 million of every year. If we take a look at the performance for the last few years, it slightly dropped, then it recover. Each and every year when they make profit, they just pay dividend. Example like 2021, 5.8 million, they pay 5 million. 3.4 million, they pay 3 million. But towards the transfer listing, they lower down the dividend payout. Out 8.5, they pay 2 million. Out 10 million, they pay 2 million in order to conserve the cash, to make the cash flow stronger position, to get the approval transfer for the LEAP to the ACE market. The balance sheet I want to go through. You can take it from the prospectus. Okay, the number of the share, should you be the lead market investor of this company, the number of shares is about 216 million. The total new share issued 32 million. Upon transfer by the 8th of May 2025 is about 248 million. The capital value have been increased to about 62 million. Okay. And prior to the transfer, during the lead market day, both Mr. Ng, Danny Ng, and Muhammad Tami own close to about 86%. They are about 20 over individual shareholder, own about 14%. This is prior to transfer, prior to listing. After transfer, they need to issue the new share. It will dilute to about 64%. Then we have the stake will be like this. When you take a look, the Danny Ng and the Encik Muhammad Tami, collectively, they own about 65%. The free float in the market is about 35%. The old shareholder will be about 12%. The public new share about 23%. So the total free float from the transfer day onward is about 35%, and the major shareholding about 65%. This 65% owned by the shareholder is subject to the moratorium. It means they cannot sell the share 6 months plus 1 day, can reduce to 45, after 6 months reduce to 30, after a year, 15, another year to 0. Okay, so I think the pandemic I need to share with everyone from the IMR report, Independent Market Research Report, to show you that in this geotechnical industry, the number of the value for the whole industry grows about 820 million. It grew quite fast to about 3.3 billion by the year of 2024. The compounded annual growth rate of every year is about 32%. It shows that the industry went big. At this moment, what is the market share? When you take a look at the market share, design installation is close to about 36 million, divided by 3.3 billion. The market share of Fibromat is relatively small, 1.11%. Moving forward, the IMR researchers have forecast 2025, it should grow from 3.3 billion to 3.75 billion by the year of 2025. It derived by 3 key growth factors. Number 1, infrastructure development. It's not only happening in Peninsular Malaysia, but also in East Malaysia, Sabah, Sarawak, and the government project for the disaster prevention and environment conservation. I mean, you and me know very well in Malaysia, every year and got monsoon. Not even year end got monsoon, you got land erosion, land collapse. In the report, it showed that not less than 20 to 30 disasters happened from the year of 2020 until year 2024. And then urbanization also drive the need for these services. In here, we did show you some beta project and ongoing project. More importantly, at this moment, based on the latest cut-off date, the company still have about 42 ongoing projects valued at about 70.5 million. With this, the outstanding yet to be complete is about 49 million. So that will show that the company still have another 49 million of the project to give the investor the earning and revenue visibility forward. I think with this, I try to end the presentation earlier and leave more time for Q&A with the host with you. Sherwin, I will back to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Singh. Hi, Danny.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Is there everyone get ready for the Q&A section? Okay, all right. Here, okay, for the first question, could you give us 2 to 3 major factors that could contribute to the growth of the whole geotechnical solution industry in Malaysia? I think just now Yap Seng already mentioned some of it. Do you want to explain more to our investor?
Okay, I think the most important thing is okay, we talk about the global issue, especially for erosion control. I think since 1945, 1.2 billion hectares has been eroded due to wind and also water. So coupled with now, especially now with the climate change, I think it's going to be more serious, especially erosion and also flooding. Okay, so when it comes to climate change, there's 2 extreme things going to happen now. One is there's a plenty of rainfall, so we create a flash flood. And the other thing, after plenty of rainfall, there could be a dry spell, dry spell where it's very hot. Then there will be also a lot of burning, especially you see a lot of other countries, forest fire and whatnot. After forest fire, you have to treat the soil because otherwise there will be further erosion. So I think globally, this phenomenon will create more opportunity, more requirement for this kind of product.
Okay. Ready? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The next question is for the challenge. Could you share with us what is the challenge or industry risk that could affect public spending on the geotechnical solution in Malaysia?
I think risk-wise, government spending, I think the government has been for the last few years are not spending enough. I think due to the political turmoil, especially in Malaysia. But however, going forward, as you can see now, government is placing a lot of budget on flood mitigation, biodiversity, habitat rehabilitation, slope protection, infrastructure, roads, airports, ports. So I think if you look at the budget that was announced by the government, is actually massive, both from the government and also from the private sector.
Okay, the next question asking for the peer. What are the Fibromat competitive advantages compared to other geotechnical solution industry in Malaysia, like Solmax, Geosanitica, like their previous name is then Capta and Maxon Ferry?
Okay, in Malaysia, we have a few foreign players, such as the biggest one is Solmax. Solmax just been taken over by a Canadian company. Then you have Ferry, which is a 100% Italian company. You have Naur, which is a 100% German company, and you have like Cito, which is also a Dutch company. So, okay, what is our advantage? Our advantage is that we have 3 market segments, meaning we do design, we manufacture and sell, and also we do installation, where most of our competitors don't do that. Okay, on top of that, now I think with this present market scenario, as you can see, the tariff kind of thing, I think the government will start to realize that they have to support the local industry. So we being a local, I think we have the advantage. And on top of that, also our company, we have our own lab, which is ISO 17025 certified. And we are also if you go into the My Hijau under MGTC, I think probably we are the only one company which is full-fledged and registered as a My Hijau company. So government now, they are trying to spend more on green, and there will be a green procurement. In fact, there's an act already, a Green Procurement Act, okay, So once if the government start to enforce, and we will be, I think, one of the major beneficiary.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. He's asking like, could you share what is the reason for Grand Flame Santiago Berhad both is the top 5 customer and also your top 5 supplier? Is there any relationship on that?
Okay. Okay. Grand Flame is actually an applicator of PVD. Okay. So meaning they not necessarily have to buy from only Fibromat. They can buy from anybody. So they are both the buyer and also the applicator. For us, we are the manufacturer. That's why part of our proceed that we are going to set out our own installation team. So now, Grand Frame buys a lot from us. And at the same time, because we don't have an installation team, so we will get Grand Flame to be our installer, meaning as a subcontractor. So meaning they will become our purchaser and also our subcontractor.
Wallace, do you have anything want to add on?
Not really, but we can say that I think this market, not only in Malaysia, globally, they have make a research. I think that Keka growth will be, which they done in 3-4 years ago. They're talking about 20%. But now, if you look at the present situation, with the ESG requirement, sustainability, and coupled with the climate change. So now most of the countries, whether rich country, poor country, they become more proactive. They rather than reactive. When the thing happen, then only they start to do. So that means that most of the government will need to spend more money. So therefore, globally, I think requirement for green, sustainable, erosion, and geosynthetic product will grow.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. They asking like from prospector, there's one of the company, China Communication Group, you like seem quite heavy in your customer list for financial year 2022 and 2023. Will this pose any larger customer risk for your company in this kind of scenario?
Can I get Wallace to answer?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so when we are preparing for this prospects so apparently CCPC, because they are under the state government of China, so a lot of all these subsidiaries, they are being categorized as CCPC as a group. But if we really go into details, they're actually comprised of many subsidiaries handling different projects. There could be a highway project, there could be reclamation projects, there could be a lot of projects, okay? So each and all these projects, we deal with different groups, different subsidiaries, different products. So it's actually quite a mix of different projects. So we don't really see them as our, we don't really depend on them, first of all, because at the end, it's not one single unit. It's actually comprises of quite a number of subsidiaries. And also, we don't see that repeat in the last 4 years of our financial report. So the repetition is not really there. Of course, we do note that, especially for the project EPRL, there was a significant of revenue contributed by them. That is because the project is quite huge. And then, as you know, the project has been delayed, so they are catching up. So that's where we see a spike in terms of the revenue. But other than that, we don't think that we are actually dependent on them.
I could not only depend on one of the customer, if not, it's too risky. Okay. Okay, the next question is from your IPO process, also you want to get more invoice on to set up your own PVD team. And is there any sufficient contract to justify using to buy the 5 hydraulic excavator and hire 10 staff in your house for the PVD work?
Okay, so as mentioned just now earlier, as of our LPD, we have about 42 projects. Out of it, I think 52 million is still considered unbilled. So that is that sort of order book that we have, if you can think so. So there are quite a number of ground treatment projects that already secure on hand. Moving forwards, we also participate in some of the projects that we already secure, but we can't disclose. So we see that there's still a lot of demands, okay, in order to justify the spending on it. But we just backtrace to what happened in 2019. Actually, we already gone to the lead market, and the utilization of proceeds that time, part of it was to purchase a PVD production line. So we actually already start manufacturing since 2019. So now 2025, we have a real our management to go into downstream integration. Okay, you can either go upstream or go downstream. So for this one, because we see there's quite a number of there's quite a lot of demand for ground treatment work. Okay, so we want to acquire. We want to have our own installation team in order to take up the projects, so that we can maximize our profitability. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay. The next question asking, to what extent is the company business depend on government infrastructure spending and public sector project? Do you have this info?
Okay. You are right in that sense that basically Fibromat, we have two big groups of customer. One is being government project, the other one is private. Okay, we talk about government. Government basically, construction form quite a big part of a GDP, and government actually still a lot of project is rolling out, major infra projects and all. So that is one kind of where we put our hands into it. There's also another one which is more like a disaster. We call it preventive engineering. Okay, so we see that now because of the climate change, more rains, flash flood, all this coming in. So in 2024, the government has already allocated 12 billion for flood mitigation. This year, 2025, they top up another about close to 3 billion, I would say. So that is a lot of money. Okay, that means the government is really, looking into all these things, and not only for the flood. Okay, even for slope protection, government has already allocated 500 million, close to 500 million last year, and this year they're going to top up another 250 million. So this is where we see that is where we can capture, okay, for revenue growth, okay, for the government sector. So coming back to private sector, as you know, private sector is basically, it could be housing projects, it could be projects, it could be, reclamation projects, power plant, those sort of things. So actually, we also follow closely with all these for housing projects, developers like Equal, SP Satya, RI, okay, the big boys, like Time Darby, Gamuda. So those are our customers, okay, in terms of the housing project. But we also do take note that nowadays a lot of these developers, they are building data centers. Okay, that is also one thing that I can share with our dear investors friends. Okay, as we can see nowadays, Malaysia, we have more and more this sort of developments coming in. Not to discount that we also have a large scale projects like reclamation projects, usually in Penang, in Malacca and Johor. So as long as the foreign direct investment is there, we can still see there's a lot of projects coming in on a yearly basis.
Okay, you're asking for Sabah outlook. One of the strategy is expand to Sabah, right? And can you share with us like what is a new business opportunity in Sabah and how was the past experience for inviting and complete the project?
Okay, if you talk about Sabah, the most prominent one will be Pan Borneo project. So before that, we already start working. We already supplied to Sarawak Pan Borneo, but they finished slightly earlier. So now Sabah is trying to pick up. Okay. So especially for phase 1B, as of now, what I mentioned to you just now, okay, of our 42 projects that we have, 52 unbilled. If you go down to details, you can see that actually about half of it is actually in Sabah. Okay. So those are the projects that we really tap into it and really secure, and that will definitely contribute to our 2025 results. Okay, moving forwards, there are also more and more packages that we already in a good term with the customer. In fact, some already secured. So we can see that tapping on this, we should able to generate quite substantial revenue from the penetration of Sabah market. But along with it, okay, because when we reach out more and more consultants, local authorities and that, we also will look into other opportunities like, the Luar Bandar projects and all, okay, the concession and all that. So this is where we think in the short term, we will be very focused in terms of the market expansion in Sabah.
Danny, do you have anything want to add on for this Sabah outlook?
Oh, like what Wallace has said, Sabah, okay, the main name project is the Cambodia 1B, which the government have allocated 15.6 billion. Okay, then they do have a few projects for the Luar Bandar, which is quite substantial. I think they have a few hundred million. And now Sabah also, they have some development, especially on the reclamation. Okay, so I think with that, it's quite substantial in the sense that I think the last few years there's not much of a big spending over there. So yeah, we are not only targeting only on Sabah, we are also going to Sarawak, and also in Peninsula now there's massive, because if you're talking about especially infrastructure, meaning roads, ports, railways, airports. I think the roads alone, we have here the North-South Highway expansion, the Karak Highway expansion, okay? Then you have the Central Spine Road, then you have the Kuala Kangsar bypass, then you have the Tanjung Bunga bypass, which are all billion-dollar business.
Okay, from just now, Danny discussed about mentioned about the Karak Highway, the spin project, and how is like you measure for the working capital movement for this, because they are quite large project amount, like between receivable and contract asset and payable.
I'll get my CFO to answer. Okay, Nadia.
Hi,
Hi.
Nadia. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mind repeating the question?
Oh, okay. Just now, Danny mentioned about the Karak Highway project and the spin project. All of these projects quite heavy and quite large. And I'm asking like how does Fibromat Berhad is measure about working capital movement, like where is their receivable and contract assets and payable about this?
If you can see our cash flow for the past records, we have maintained our cash flow at a positive operating cash flow. And then, at the same time, whenever this is needed, we do have our ready cash flow in hand. And then coupled with our facilities that we have currently, we are very positive that we can cover all those new projects in hand.
Okay, and from this now is how about the gearing ratio?
You see our gearing ratio also, it is maintained below 1 point for the 4 years, and then it is not fluctuated. That shows that how the company, our Fibromat, we maintain and we control our gearing. So you can see at the same time, although the business is expanding, we still able to maintain our gearing.
Yeah, quite stable for the cash flow.
Yep.
The next question is asking, how exposed is the company to cyclic risk tied to construction and infrastructure spending?
Okay, for this one, usually for government, they announce budget based on yearly. Okay, like what I just mentioned just now. Okay, if they already sees that there's a need for them to tackle whatever flood and this issue, okay, for that particular year, they'll have to come up with the projects, okay, tender and all to finish up the project. So we don't see that as that cyclical, but of course, we also note that year by year, budget could be different, but it will not be like, every 3 months, 6 months, up and down, yo-yo, that kind of things. We don't see that. And also for this private sector, it's also the same. Let's say if you want to build a township, okay, or you want to build a reclamation project, those projects is you can't finish in 3 months or 6 months, okay? When they want to come in, they have to come in and it takes years to complete. So along the way, of course, there are phases whereby we come in first, there are phases we come in later, but overall, it will be quite balanced in that sense, okay? Also, there's something to note that, you see, if for reclamation project, sometimes the first thing to come in is the environmental protection thing. They need to comply with all these authority to protect the environmental things. Those are the things that we also do. Then they come to another scope, maybe they need to do some ground treatment, then we are there. Then later on, when we move to another scope, okay, maybe pavement and road and all that, then we are there also. So if we have a very narrow range of products, then we could fall into this trap in terms of the cyclical kind of things. But our product is quite in a wide range. Okay, that is also one of the advantage that we as compared to our competitors, because when we come in to give a proposal, it is very holistic. So it allows us to cross-sell and upsell products. So throughout the whole year, I mean, all year long, we don't see that we are depending on certain time frame, and then they give us some cyclical thing. We don't see that really.
Thank you. Quite clear. Okay, the next question is asking, what are the current utilization rate of Fibromat production facility and how will the new machinery impact on this?
Nadia,
If
maybe.
Nadia?
Nadia?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, the current utilization rate, for instance, for ECB is around 60%. But although we invest in this additional erosion control blanket machine, the current machine that we have is actually more than 5 years. And then at the same time, what we have in mind is that potentially what we can see from Sabah market, there'll be more projects that need our erosion control blanket. That's one point. Another point that we are looking forward for our this new investment to cater for overseas market, to produce a different type of erosion control blanket, which is much more environmental friendly in material, that is using jute material instead of our current netting that is using biodegradable netting, PVC netting. So I think this point also Wallace could add more on why we invest in ECB machine.
Okay, if we talk about among all the products, okay, if we just talk about BECB, our erosion control blanket, so over 20 years, we have been producing this, okay? Every day we are producing this product, okay, for all the major highways and all that. But now that more and more infrastructure is coming out, especially in Sabah. Sabah is a very hilly area, okay? It's not as flat as Sarawak. Actually, it's very hilly. So whenever they build highways, they cannot allow the alignment to be, like zigzag, they have to cut through, otherwise you cannot achieve the speed, right? So when they cut through the hills, of course, you're bound to have all these protection things. So we see that as a very huge demand in terms of our erosion control blanket. Apart from all these cementization projects that we already working on, so we think that there is a need to increase our capacity. But there's also one concept that we have to know. You see, Fibromat, we come in as a geotechnical solution specialist. You can imagine us as a bomba. Also, it's actually quite weird that you ask the utilization of bomba. Bomba is actually in a standby mode, you see. You have to be there to serve the community. When there's a flash flood, you must make sure that you can come up with the product. But you cannot assume that the bomba is putting fire every day. It's only when needed. Suddenly you come to a monsoon time, there will be tremendous demand. So you need to have that capacity to push your products out to cover as much as you can. But during the drought time, of course, we can't demand very high utilization rate, because why? Because it's a drought season. There's nothing much we can do. It's not that we give some promotions, then we can sell a product. It doesn't really work that way. So there's a balance between our investment, our utilization in terms of our market, in terms of the demand as a whole.
I would like to add on, that is part of our utilization of proceed, and then we should look into our PVD side as well. So if you can see what we have written, that we are going to invest on our machines for installation of PVD. So we can see that it'll be a vertical structure in our supply chain, whereby now we have facilities that to produce at our, we have 3 segments, that is manufacturing, trading, as well as project. So now we are able to produce our PVD at our manufacturing segment. But if you recall back just now, when you asked Wallace on Grand Flame, you can see that they are top 5 of our customer, as well as top 5 as our supplier. So our main supplier main subcon for this installation of PVD is Grand Flame. So if to capture the whole supply chain from producing up to installation, we have the positive thinking that we will capture more stronger GP by having this installation team, as well as our own machineries.
Yeah, can get it because it's produced by your own and then also installed by your own. You less depend from the third party.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and just now we discussed about the erosion control packets. Also, we upgrade to not say new product, but is including the ESG, the biodegrade, or this thing. Like how for the prices, will the price increase or?
This one Wallace have to answer.
Okay. Of course, if we were to use natural fibers, cost will be slightly more expensive. Okay, because nowadays, even like plastic is something very cold, very synthetic to us. Nowadays, virgin material is not as expensive as recycled material. If you go to do some shoppings, sneakers, Nike, and all that, you'll find that a lot of recycled material is actually selling a higher price tag. But that's not the point. But what I'm trying to say is that, of course, if the market recognize the need of 100% biodegradable material, there is a need. So most likely, if I don't say that I can demand a premium, at the very least, I can pass down the cost to the customer, because that is what they sought for. Okay, if they say they just want something cheap, yes, we do have the basic one. But if they say due to this ESG, the environmental thing, carbon footprint, now yes, we do have, this is what we have. So along the way, we also need to explore what kind of innovations do we have. We have to take the challenge and look into all the aspects of production. Can we do more than what we are doing? Okay, we could be doing well. How can we do best? So we break down into all the elements. Then we see that there is this thing that we can actually make it 100% biodegradable. And then there will be a market for us to sell, and we can demand perhaps even better margin.
Okay, got it. Quite good for the new product. Okay. The next question is, do you expect the soil protection and erosion control becoming a standard requirement in future, like for infrastructure, residential and industrial project? Or is this already a common in ongoing project or still like a best practice?
Okay, in our construction, there is this thing called erosion control and sediment plan, okay, which is mainly to capture all these things. But I would say that the guideline is there, okay. We do note that the stakeholders, clients and consultants, they are looking into this, but they're still a little bit superficial, okay. So what happened is that sometimes it's just very surface, but there should be more effort uh, for us to reach out to the market and tell them that you should do more. But that doesn't necessarily cost you more money, because if you leave it there for long, maybe next time if anything happen, I cannot reach the site because you already got building there. I can't go in. The cost is higher, not because of my construction cost is higher, because you could already cost the lives of somebody in the property, art and all these things. So these are the things that we hope that one day, as a pioneer of the industry, we can just deliver the awareness to the general public, to the stakeholders, our government sectors, and to the broader this public, that what to be done, what should be done correctly. This is what we aim for. Of course, if we come in late as what do you call that, an emergency, okay, you could say that we can demand for better profit, but that's not what we want. If we want to cure it before the thing happen. Okay, that is what we wish one day we can achieve, at least for Malaysia.
Yeah, especially Malaysia, 335 day, rainfall.
Okay, I
Yeah,
think
just
let me add. I say, for example, in Malaysia we have this MASMA under GPS, Manual Saliran Mesra Alam. Okay, now flooding, whether along the river, coast, can be prevented or minimized. Okay, so if we do the one thing, erosion control and sediment control, like, okay, Malaysia, if you are saying that whether there is something that the government will do, I think so far, Malaysia emphasis is more on erosion control. But however, in Singapore, the emphasis is more on sediment control. Because why? Singapore almost is a flat land, okay? So they need, you see, sometimes, you see, why we have instant flood? Because our river, because due to sediment, so the volume become smaller due to that. Let's say we design a 5 meter depth river, because after some time it become, you have 2 meter sediment, then you have only 3 meter volume. So that's why if you compare to Singapore and us, so you see the frequency of flooding is not so rampant as over there as compared to here, right? So I think this is something that we must look into it, not only erosion control but sediment control, so that we confine all those sediment. Let's say a construction site, we must confine it at the construction site. Don't let it flow out to the drain and to the river, then and to the up to the sea. So sometimes you see at the sea also, at the river mouth, why we get flood? Because the water cannot go out, so it come back. So that's why we have flooding.
Yeah, thank you. Hope so government will take action and serious on this. Okay, the next question asking about why there is sharp increase in GP and bottom line in 2023 compared to 2022?
All right. If you look, your question is on GP, but however, if you look at our GP comparison made between 2022 and 2023, the increase is approximately around only 3% comparison made. And then throughout the four financials, if you can see, our range is around 22% up to 27%. In 2024 is around 27%. But you can see a sharp increase in the revenue comparison made from 2022 up comparison to 2023. Okay, basically, if we look into the revenue, as earlier, Yap Sing have explained that Fibromat have three segments. That is manufacturing segment, trading segment, and the project segment. So basically the project segment, basically the trading segment and manufacturing segment is solely to distribute our goods solely on trading. But for project segment for Fibromat, it is where we do installation work. It is using our own product that is from the other two segments, that is manufacturing and trading. So naturally, if we look into 2022 and versus 23, that for the project segment, there is an increase approximately 10% comparison made. So in 2022, that 39% is from project segment, while in there is an increase in 2023, that is 48%. So that is where our GP margin increased, because in our project segment, we capture a higher margin comparing to just supplying material. That is why that is another rationale why at the management we want to venture into installation of PVD as well. So maybe from this explanation you can understand that it captures a higher margin while coupling our product with the installation work.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. Okay, the next question asking, how did Fibromat maintain business stability and operation continuity during the COVID period when government and private sector reduced their spending in infrastructure and construction projects?
Right. How did Fibromat maintain business stability and operational continuity during the COVID-19 period when government and private sector spending was reduced? Okay. Of course, when COVID-19 came, a lot of projects is suspended, but in a short period of time, a lot of projects also, they already gotten the letter from the government to resume. So as you know, we not only do manufacturing, we also do trading, and also we do this project. So of course, our projects, we also suffer in the sense that we have put on hold. But the letter that our customer had at that time also allow us to supply for their project. Okay, so it is not totally stagnant. So is that what the question is? Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Is there anything you want to add on for this?
And also just to mention, as compared to pure contractors, I think the impact will be higher because they got quite a number of workers. And as of first, we don't have that much. So the impact is not that hard in terms of, the whatever cost that arise due to the pandemic. We still have a relatively small teams, so it doesn't really affect us in terms of the impact of the human, the workers.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, this asking, how does the fluctuation in coconut fiber commodity price impact your raw material cost and overall cost structure?
Okay, all year long, we tend to buy a lot of all these natural fibers. So we also stock up a lot, Okay, depending on, because we have a big warehouse, we can stock up when the price is low. Okay, when the price is high, then maybe we stock out a little bit later. So we can play around with that. And anyway, this product, because not many people in Malaysia produce, so we still stand relatively competitive in the market, not in the sense of the price, but due to our branding, our capacity and all. So the raw material impact in terms of the finished product, it's not really that much. It's not that, okay, look, the coconut fiber constitute 90% of your cost of your finished product, then that is really, you're playing with commodity. But that is not the case. It's just a fraction, because we still have the phono and nettings, our manufacturing, our distribution, and also our technicality, coupled with the installation and all. So the cost for the fiber doesn't really hit that much, even if it fluctuates. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just now we also discussed about this question, but we did not say about the revenue. From revenue, how many percentage is from government sector project and compared with private sector project?
Nadia, do we have a breakdown for this one?
Hello.
Yeah. I don't have the breakdown with me, but
But one thing
basically, yeah.
I can add is that you see, when we deal with our customers, sometimes not we can't be sure that whether they are dealing with government projects or private projects. You see, sometimes they come to us, they say, okay, look, I need this product. What do you have? What is the price, is the quantity, so and so. So we will supply to them according to, whatever specification they're given to us. So we might not have full knowledge what project they are doing. It could be government project, could be private project. So I think on our end, we might not have that answer. Is it correct, Nadia?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and thank you. In terms of pricing, how does your product fare against your competitor?
Okay, this is a very good question. Okay. Our price is still relatively competitive among the top two. Okay, as you can see, Somax, McAferry, us. But one thing worth to share is that our what I call that PAT margin still the highest among all, even though we are competitive. That is something that we can share to our investors friend. So of course, when you deal with one mega project, everybody also want to win the project. Okay, the competition is there. Of course, we can't deny, but there are some products that we have a slight advantage over others. There could be also other product which is more generalized. Then we just have to go head to head. Okay, but one thing that we would like to stress is that we do note that, okay, price competition is getting more competitive year by year. So how we want to position ourselves is that we try to give more geotechnical inputs and services, and if we can, we will take out as an installation job as a specialist. That will deviate us from the price war. If I just come in just as a product supplier, really the battlefield is just based on price. Apart from quality and all, it is very related to price. Okay, very sensitive, because we are just fighting. Okay, you have this product, I have this product. But if I can give you another value, which is installation and all, that will pull us apart compared to our competitors. That is why we always have these three segments. There are things that usually we do trading. There are things that we do manufacturing. There are also things that we take our products and then we go into installation. Okay, so there is a balance between these three segments that we just have to juggle in between.
Danny, do you have anything more to add on this?
I think what Vola has said is I think it's almost complete, I would say.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I think we answered almost all of the question tonight. Okay, before we end for this webinar, do you have any closing remark for our investor tonight?
I think that those people that has been maybe just came to know us, or some has already, it's an industry players, okay, our dear investors, friends. If you know Fibromat well, we are very dedicated, a local company, and we are fighting with all these big giants. So we're still very focused. We venture into so many different product range and different applications. So what we really want is that we just want to be sure that we have a market position in this local, at least as of now, Malaysia, that we are the erosion control and geotechnical specialists. Whenever you have any things that you really need us, we are there to serve, okay? Of course, there are different stakeholders that we have to take care, okay? Nowadays, ESG is also one thing. We need to take care of the environmentals, apart from making profit. So there are also investors that we need to take care, okay? Which is our, whoever, our Fibromat investors, okay? Because we're already listed. But actually, generally, we also want to stress that our intention that we are a green company. The effort and the intention and the objective, the goal into green is always in our blood. Okay, be it another 25 years, 50 years, that will always remain unchanged. This is what we call Fibromat.
Okay, thank you. How about Danny?
I think our company is on a growth trajectory. Okay, we have overcome all those roadblocks for the past many years, and now that we at last, for the last few years have been recognized, so we can see that going forward, I think there'll be a lot of exciting outcome that we believe we are able to achieve.
Okay, thank you. Nadia, do you have anything you want to share with our investor?
Financial perspective, I think we have shown our growth for all these years, the past 26 years. And then as Wallace has explained and Mr. Danny has explained, we are locally born company, and we believe that, we still have the room for growth. So as the person who took care of the financial for the past 12 years for the company, I do have the positive look forward for the company as well.
Okay, thank you, Nadia.
Yeah.
All right. Once again, congrats on upcoming listing on the ACE market on 8th of May. And thank you all of you. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Wallace. And thank you, Nadia, for tonight's presentation. And thank you, Yap Sing too. Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.